Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to season 3, episode 2 of Job and the Librarians. My name is Erica. I am a young adult librarian, and let Kim introduce herself. Hi guys,
Hi,
welcome.
I'm
Oh
Kim.
my god.
I'm a teen librarian in Connecticut. So we are like one time zone away from each other, but I'm glad we found each other because we are going to have some exciting things to talk about today, I think.
Yes. So, you guys, we're going to be talking about The Bells by Danielle Clayton. I don't know if you can see that good. And I have a lot of feelings about this book that I can't talk to you guys about. But basically, this story is about a group of women who are born beautiful, and they're called the Bells. And they're not biological sisters, but they're raised as sisters. And they're born into this world that is gray. Everybody is born, what's it, colorless, in a gray world where they have red eyes and straw-like hair, not very appealing. And the Bells' job is to make them beautiful by fabricating how they look versus their face, their body, all of that type of stuff. And so the girls are each competing or being groomed to become the queen's favorite, and they each gonna be placed in different tea houses, I believe that's what they're called.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the premise of the story. It's very pretty vague, but I feel like it's good. You don't need to know a lot with this going in. So I want to hear what you thought about the story.
I thought a lot. So like I said, I kind of struggle with books that seem like they're going to focus on how like beautiful someone is or like the appearance of someone. Like I don't know if it's like middle school angst that's just like followed me into my 30s. But that's kind of why I didn't pick up this book. So I was like, all right, like blah, 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 beautiful, yada, yada, move on. It's kind of the same way I felt about Scott Westerfeld's Uglies series.
Mhm.
So that was kind of my mindset when I went into this of just kind of like, I'm just going to read this so we can talk about it. But I actually really liked it. And the thing that I liked the most about this book wasn't actually the book itself, although I did like the book itself and I have plenty to say. It was the author's note. Was it the author's note? Yeah, the author's note where I don't know if this was in yours. I read it on Overdrive, but
Okay.
they called it just said dear reader, like they didn't even name it the author's note, where the author sort of spoke about how she's been writing this book for years, like 20 years or some really like obscene number, and how she based the book off of her own struggles with appearance. So how she would clip out like different like facial features and body features from magazines, and she had this like nook, this hole in her closet, and that was where she kind of put everything up that was supposed to kind of like all the pieces that would equal the perfect body, perfect hair, the perfect shape, the perfect skin tone, and all of that. And hearing like a group of men flipping through a magazine talking about how their girlfriends would look if they had this body or that body. So I it kind of made me feel a little bit different when I got to the end of the book and realized that this story was built from the author's struggle with appearance as opposed to like obsession with appearance, which I know can sort of be the same thing, but that did kind of like change it for me a little bit. So that was really nice. I like the story. I knew what's his face was trash from the beginning. Hold on, let me try to figure out what his name was. That like sea pirate. I knew he was trash from the beginning, and I was really glad to be validated in the book because last time we said spoilers, so I was like, good. I'm glad I can talk about this. Um,
It was
I,
too
I
easy.
it was a little easy. I mean, I said there were moments where I was like, maybe he won't be trash, but then I was like, nah, he will be. Um, I think what I kind of my struggle was like these sisters. So who was the one that was the favorite? Allison, was that her name?
Amber.
Amber.
Ambrosia.
I did not like that dynamic at all. I did not like the dynamic between Amber and, is it Camilla or Camellia? That extra I threw me.
Camellia. I think it's
Camellia.
Camellia.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of them. I thought Amber was also a horrible human. So I don't know. Just like the pairings in here were like a little bit of a struggle. Cause thing is, I love the book. Like I'm gonna read the sequel and I'm gonna read it when it comes out. So I don't know. My feelings are everywhere. They're all over the place. I liked it. I knew what his face was trash. um, I was glad to get that validation. But I did. The like twist was cool with like the bells, the other tea house bells. That was kind of
Mhm.
cool. I like that. I don't know. What did you think? There were a lot of balls in the air here with
Yeah,
them.
like, okay, so I liked it. As a story as itself, I liked it. I am gonna read the second one. My only thing was with it was the pacing. It took a good amount, like 50% mark for it to start kind of making sense. And also it is a page turner and it does have you wanting more, but it also kept building questions. Okay, this is happening, so I need to know, like, you know what I mean? That's the only really complaint as far as the writing and the overall story of it. I did not like any of the bells, but I didn't like them, and I did not like them. It was just, like, I really couldn't connect with them because I felt like they were so, especially Camellia was so one-dimensional because she was so brash and trying to be so defiant instead of, like, really taking a moment and assessing the situation, and she was like that throughout the whole story until the very end, and I just feel like, okay, at some point, you need to kinda be to grew up, you know what I mean? It's like, well, maybe be in the second one. Maybe it should be in grew up in the second, but I did feel like she was one-dimensional in throughout the whole story. Also, the relationship that they had with each other, I did not like Amber as well because
Oh,
I felt like she was wishy-washy at the same time. And even though they say no matter who is the favorite, we're still gonna be best friends and all the other stuff, you can clearly see that they're
yeah,
both really jealous of each other. I
yeah.
think the only one that I really did like was the one that ran away.
I
Edna,
know.
I think,
I'm gonna find her name was on the last page. Adele.
yes,
Yeah,
she was probably the only one that I realized I felt like she was really genuine
yeah.
and real with it.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, I really didn't have, it was just one of those little light reads for me. It's not a book that I would particularly go for because I'm more of a fantasy or new adult reader as well. But this one's not really. But when you mentioned that her note, it kind of makes sense now.
Hmm.
And I see it from a different perspective because
Hmm.
also I wanted to mention that there is trigger warnings for rape and body shaming. It's a lot of body shaming in here because
Hmm.
when Camellia first became, after she didn't become the favorite, she was sent to the first house, and the woman who had the child there, she was telling her how ugly her nose is, how sunken her eyes are, and all that stuff. I'm like, this is a kid, and you're
Hmm.
instilling in this child that she's not beautiful. And I didn't like that part about it, but I see it in a different light now based off what you said
Yep.
from earlier.
The author's note really does. It's crazy because so you read this whole book. So if you read the description, you go into the book with an idea of what it's going to be like and an idea of what to expect, the same way that I did. And then you read the book and like, that might change a little bit. Like it it wasn't as I don't even know what the word is that I'm looking for. But it wasn't as shallow, I guess, or Camellia wasn't as shallow because what I can say about her is and they kind of lost this as the book went on, but I guess because she kind of had like a lot going on with the crazy princess to handle, so like I'll let that slide. But she went into this wanting to enhance people's natural beauty. Like in the beginning of the book, she really seemed to want to be the Belle who would just kind of like want people to accept themselves, want
Mhm.
people to accept all of their body sizes. Like she started off like that, which I thought was kind of cool. But then there was like the crazy princess and like the weird mini animals, which I kind of like. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
I
lie.
did too. I want a little dragon, teacup dragon.
Oh yes, I want to pick up everything. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to pick up elephant like so bad. Um, so she got kind of distracted by this crazy princess and her mini animals. Um, but so you read the book and your preconceived notions kind of change a bit, but it's still kind of like it's a book that I would hand to a reluctant reader, but it's not a book that I would like vote to win an award. Like I just
Right.
sat on the Connecticut Nutmeg Awards committee. Those are our book awards. I just sat on that committee for the 2020 nominees. I wouldn't have voted for this. Like I just wouldn't have. It would have been like a book to hand to reluctant readers who need those questions to kind of push them through.
Mhm.
But something about when you get to the end and you read that author's note just like flips the whole story. Like it's not even, it's like a page total. It's not even very long, but it just flips your whole mind when you think back on the book and you kind of think about it in a different way, which was pretty fascinating. I try to read, I don't read acknowledgments so much. Sorry,
No, I
authors.
don't either. I don't
I
read
don't
none
read,
of them.
I don't read acknowledgments, but I have learned to read authors' notes. So I'm kind of glad that I took a second to read those, but I don't know. I did like it. I really
Yeah,
didn't like Amber.
it was more character driven and plot driven than anything. Because I like
Mhm.
a good plot, and like I said, it did nothing really happen until like way off in the middle part of the book, and
Really?
it just like it's a lot of questions. I don't want to say spoilers too early on in the show.
Just spoil them. Spoil. I already said what's his face is trash, even though I keep
He
forgetting
is.
his
So
shit
we'll talk about
name.
him first. So his name was August. Is it Augustus or August? I think
August.
it's
That's how I said it in my head because there's like an accent over one of the U's. I said August.
yeah. He started out, and I kind of felt like he was shallow from the very beginning as well because he just was. It was too easy, and I think he had to be there because the YA and all YA has had a little romance concept thrown in there. It's
They've
like
got
it's a
some like
rule.
sexy rebellious like 22-year-old man.
Yes.
They all have
So
them.
I
Fine.
got to be in there, and it was just too easy. He didn't have a good vibe. Actually, I wanted her with her guardian, Remy. Her
It's totally coming.
that's who I wanted
Totally
her
coming.
with.
It's coming.
It yeah.
Hello. He like blew all of his rules for her. Like that's book
Yes,
two. That's book two, and it's gonna be fine. Even though that poor man does not know how to crack a joke, he did try really hard
he
a couple
tried.
times. He tried.
It was so
Um,
sweet.
ugh, I was so upset. Well, so the first time I saw this, and the thing is, there were moments of this book where I realized I was glazing out, like just like small
Mhm.
paragraphs, like it wasn't a whole lot. But so when he showed up, I think in my brain, like I kind of stopped caring. So they had just done this like glorious whatever, and she changed the little girl and made her fall out of the flower and made her look exactly like her. Cool. That was cool. It was like great, awesome. And then they just like rolled somewhere, and I kind of like I was like, okay, they're going. I have this habit of like when I start to get bored, I'll just like power read and miss
Yes.
some important stuff, um, or not important stuff. So when he first showed up, I didn't think he was that important. Like when he first showed up, I knew he was going to be around for a while. Like anytime there's like some some young adult 22-year-old leaning against a wall, like around for a while. So but I think I didn't realize that he was like not royalty, a merchant, and important. I think I just thought he was like some street kid. Like I thought he was someone who was like just important enough to like. They actually didn't really describe him, so I wasn't sure if he was gray or not gray.
Yeah. That's
So
another thing. Like they were all talking about like the people who were like high up in class were talking about like beauty and all this other stuff, and I'm like, so I'm thinking that the beauty only lasts a month. And
yeah,
so like all these the queen they was talking about she was very beautiful, and then I'm trying to figure out, is this guy, is he really handsome and all this stuff? So I'm like, are some people born prettier gray? I guess. or or some people born less gray. I don't know. That did kind
yeah,
of go in my mind because
it did.
she wasn't really descriptive with it.
I think I think they I think everyone's gray and wrinkly with like straw hair. I think that's just like a given. But I think they still had features. Like some might have bigger blood red eyes and some might have smaller blood
That's
red eyes.
scary.
It is scary. Some might have like a little button nose. Some might have like a flat nose. Like I think like they kept talking about the bones. Like the bones of people were this, the bones of them. Like the princess didn't have good bones, I think. So I think they had features, but they were all like gray and wrinkly with hair that was in deep need of conditioner. Couldn't they
Yeah.
have just conditioned? Like I'm sure a deep condition, and a hair dryer would have gone a long way.
Yeah. 'Cause when I was
Um,
reading him, I was like, okay, I didn't picture him as gray. I pictured him like a regular human being.
but then I don't think anyone was gray. Was anyone gray? Aside, crazy enough, aside from the locked up bells, which I guess we can get to later, but like her maid, who I did like. I hope that maid comes back. Oh
Yeah.
no, they locked the maid in the starvation
That was
box.
that was that was oh, that doggone princess. Well, I was
Yeah,
upset with that one. I
I,
was.
I was real upset because that nice little maid was there. She was chilling out in the back. She's a supporting character, but she was a good supporting character. But the maid was had color. Like it, I don't think anybody in the darn book was gray. Which
Yeah. I think maybe they just had different shades of gray. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought like I thought they could get work, but like I don't even know the. Okay, so you know how like when you dye your hair, but then your roots start to grow in, and
Mhm.
so like it. I think like the the non nobles were more inclined to that. Like they like their roots would be a little gray, and like their skin would be like a little gray. Like the color would start to fade a bit. I like. But aside from that, I was like, I don't think anybody in this book is just walking around gray and wrinkly.
Yeah, and they had to pay for that too. So, and it like it was a lot. What they call them, spinners,
I
splinters.
didn't understand the money at all.
Yeah, so they had to pay for that. So I'm thinking like mostly middle class, part of the middle class, and most of the upper class were able to afford to be enhanced.
Yeah.
So
The money was a little confusing. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. So, but I was I just because I saw Amber's name again, like I really struggled with that. Like they were supposed to be best friends. They were the worst best friends I have ever seen in my entire life. I was like, if this is your best friend, girlfriend, just go get a teacup elephant and chill with them because this is the worst best friend I've ever seen in my entire
it was like they had got into it when the first I can't remember the first time they got into it. It was during the showing when when Camellia turned the girl into her.
life.
And she got upset because she broke the rules.
Yep.
And then what kind of made me stop well not like Amber was when after it was the night before they were supposed to be favorites, well announced who was gonna be the favorite, and
Yep.
she came in and when she apologized about getting upset, but she was like, I really need to be favorite and this stuff, and then she got upset again and there was like no support there at
No.
all. And then
No.
when Amber finally got to be a favorite, the first thing Camille was like, "Why? Like, why is she like, I'm better than her. I know I'm better than her." And I kind of felt a little bit bad for Amber because she told her when she finally confronted Camellia, she was like, "You're my best friend. You should have been the first one to congratulate me and
Yeah.
whatnot." And she again, Camille was like, "Why? Like, why? Like, I just like I work hard for this." And it's not that I don't think I think they equally worked hard, but to a certain point of what they felt like they could do because obviously the one of them in the I cannot remember her name did
Adele.
not yeah she didn't want it so I can see her kind of like faltering with hers but they're supposed to be best friends and
What?
it's even mentioned that Camellia when they was all standing be waiting to be announced and Camellia was like I'm going to be happy for my best friend and it's like so why am I telling this voice why is this little voice lying
You even tell her so she's like, let me stop lying to myself in my own head. Like, I'll be
Yes.
mad. Oh God. And
So
you know
they
what? I
were
don't think that Amber would have warned Camellia. Like I understand that you're happy that you're the favorite now, but like give it a week and then things are gonna start to get crazy. Like, I don't know. I think if I had just left like dire constraints with that crazy, crazy princess. And I found out that my friend was going back. That's the one thing where I could say Camellia was a friend because, like, ooh, Ivy, I was like, there's so many names in this.
yeah
Ivy was like, let's just leave. So Camellia had her chance to leave before this got as bad as it did, before someone wound up dead for the love of God. That was bananas.
mhm.
Um, but she didn't because she didn't want one of her sisters to be put into the same place that she had been. So I will say, like, that was the one moment where you saw anybody like not showing some of that like sisterly love that you would expect to find in, like
Yeah.
a young adult novel. So I will applaud her for that. But aside from that, they were all kind of sisters. They were all kind of like, I got a sister, and like I'm like I get it. I get your sister getting on your nerves. Like I understand, but
Yeah.
I would tell my little sister like, don't go in that castle. Keep
Yeah.
her cozy. Just stay in this tea house and mind your business. But
Yeah,
I
because
was
like
all
my when I first started having questions, it was after the announcement of the favorite when Camilla got sent to her tea house,
right.
and she heard the um.
The
Was she the
crying.
one that heard the crying, or was that
Everybody heard
Hannah?
crying. They both heard crying.
They both did,
They
and
both
when
heard crying.
she snuck out of the room and she saw the one of the previous bell,
Mm-hmm.
and because she originally thought that first of all she's supposed to be there to not monitor her, train her,
Mm-hmm.
and she wasn't there. And she was like, "Well, give it dishonorable discharge or something like that." And yeah, and then the person
Military.
she got sent to was the sister of the person that she didn't even like. The dude, I didn't even
Whoever.
understand that part.
DeBerry. DeBerry.
Yeah, DeBerry. She got sent to her. So that's when my questions first started coming up. Okay, so why? What's wrong with this bill? And then they was mentioning like why would she have to lie to say that she's not there when she really is? Which we
Yep.
find out later on what happens, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just that's just when the questions started coming, and I feel like it was like that throughout the whole book, and nothing fell into place until about 70% of the book. Like I didn't understand it. I'm like, okay, this is why this happened way off in chapter 7, and I'm in chapter 39. So yeah, that's well, I didn't understand. And then when she finally got sent to the palace, so I'm like, okay, now where's Amber? What happened with her? And she kept trying to figure it out, and I want to figure it out. And it's like nothing was being resolved until they all got resolved at one time,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
wasn't. And like I have a, I'm gonna say this to the end because I did not like that plot twist at the end. I didn't
You
like
did
it.
it? Wait,
No,
there was a lot happening at the end. A lot happening at
the
the end.
very end,
Oh, oh, you didn't
the
like
I didn't like that at all.
that?
I feel like that should have been in the middle of the story
What? How could that have helped?
because I just feel like it should have. And it's I don't know. It's just I'll get to that when we get to that part.
Okay, okay, all right. So
But yeah,
okay,
I just
because my brain is okay. Sure, we'll wait.
love
Uh,
it.
so okay, so and here's the crazy thing. So I kind of like when there's a lot of questions. That's what pushes me through a book where I'm just like, why this happen? Why that happened? Who are you? Where'd she go? I hate Elizabeth. I'm glad you hate Elizabeth too. I didn't like her. She was obnoxious. And then you just kind of flip it, and then you're like, this princess just gets crazier and crazier every chapter. How far she's gonna push it? Like I did kind of like that. There were too many names. The names really got me because whoever she gave the pig nose to, I still can't even figure out who that was and why.
Astrid. I think her name was Astrid.
Okay, she was, but who was Astrid? I found that happening a lot. I'd be like, who is that? One of the princess's ladies, or is that just like some
Yeah.
random person? I'm not sure because I didn't go back and look. Um, but I like when there's a lot of questions because it does push me through the book. Um, and I think I just like doing the mental gymnastics of trying to figure it out. Like I feel like in another life I would have been like Inspector Gadget. Like I would have been like, me figure this out. Like I watch a lot of Criminal Minds. I know what's
Oh,
going
yes.
on. Yes. So I'm kind of okay with that. Um, I think there was just a lot. There was a lot that was happening. There was a lot that we didn't get to see the full effects of. And I know that that tends to happen when there's going to be a second book. Like you, they set a lot of dominoes up to knock them down in the second book. Like
Yeah.
this mirror, which I was just, all right. So, and sometimes I get a little too in my head. The logistics of this mirror. So she got the mirror from her mom. Oh, is that the plot twist? I know the plot twist you're talking about now. Okay. Yes. I still didn't get it. Sorry, I think I went too far to the end of the book. So that I'm still confused. I still don't actually understand that. But I think I understand it a little bit, but not a whole lot. Oh wait, it's all. I'm figuring it all out now. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. When I was reading it, I was just like, huh? And I just
That's
kept
how
going.
the whole book is. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, I got it. That's the whole book is just like that. And that was frustrating. It was
You know,
frustrating. Trying to
this
keep
is
up with
just
the
why
characters
this
and what's going on. That was frustrating
it,
for
it
me.
it was. But you know what? I think I constantly what I just did there, like that is just who I am as a human. Like that is just it. So like that, reading this book, I was just like, oh, it's just like a Tuesday. But I'm with you. Okay, yeah, I got now that I figured it out in my
Yeah.
head, I think.
See?
Okay.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot. But yeah, back to that necklace
Mirror.
thing that happened to my
So,
mom. I didn't quite understand it either because it was when
yeah.
I had to reread it. When I first read it, it was like if she's lost or something, or she need guidance, she pricks her finger and the blood gets dropped in there.
Mhm.
And it shows her what her soul desires or what her soul really is.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that one because I'm like, I know how I feel, but I would want to have something that's gonna help me with the situation that I'm put into.
I think it was to help her figure out who to trust. I think kind of like one of the I never really talk about themes because I'm not a truther. Like that kind of stuff got on my nerves. I think like the overarching theme of this book is trust. So like who can you
Yeah.
trust? Nobody is my answer. But the mirror was supposed to help her figure it out. So like and I think the when I read about the mirror, I was like, I don't get it. But then when she used it on the queen, I don't even remember what the queen was doing.
She
But I
was sick. She
remember,
was in bed.
I don't know. But she pricked her finger, or was she was giving her treatment because I think she was laying on her face, or maybe that was
Mhm.
I don't remember. But so she pricked her finger and then turned the mirror into the queen and just saw like a crying person
Mhm.
as opposed to I don't know like Satan. Like I don't know who else you could have seen. Um, so that showed her that the queen was like really genuine in her sorrow question mark. But that wasn't even my problem. My issue were the logistics of it. So, like, okay, let's pretend this Advil is the mirror. So the Advil is hanging on a necklace around my neck, right? And then I gotta prick my finger and put it on the glass, and then face it toward the person, and then like look under.
Yeah,
I know it sounds so dumb, but every time she uses mirror, I was like, how is she
exactly.
looking
Cause
at
she's
the
not taking it off.
No, she's not. So the logistics of this made no sense to me. And
It
I
didn't. It would
figured
have been better as a
it.
brooch, not a brooch, a bracelet, but at the same time, she don't want to be drawing attention.
Yeah,
She want
but
everybody to know she has it. So
I,
yeah, I probably would have found something else, not a necklace.
yeah,
That,
anything, anything in the world. But yeah,
but
just
yeah,
there was
it was moments like that where I would read. I have to go back and reread it because I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me reread this and see. I had a lot of moments like that while reading it. And like you said, like when it's a lot going on, when you're doing a lot of reading and not a lot is going on, you kind of zone out from it and
Mhm.
then you skip. That did happen to me quite a few times because I had to reread it. And like even towards the end with about the sister, I had to go back and like, okay, wait a minute now, how she got in this dream like this sleep like coma
No
at the
one
same time
knows.
too? So
I
yeah,
well, we can like theorize about that for a second. Oh, I think the princess did it. Of course, I think she did it.
I think
But
she did too.
and then what I'm trying to figure out is how come nobody else has put this together? So she just went on ahead and poisoned Camellia at dinner. One of those dinners. There was a lot of dinners. She went on ahead and just poisoned Camellia at dinner with this flower, and none of y'all thought that this crazy person would have poisoned her own sister to jump ahead in the jump ahead
To
in
be
the
clean.
monarchy. Yes, you know.
But, like, rewind all of that. She had Augustus, whatever, watch her the whole time.
So
Cause
weird.
when she had Camellia, she called for Camellia, and then this was another part I had to reread because I didn't know if she was biting her finger. Because remember, she said in her workshop where she was trying to take the blood from the leeches,
Yeah.
and yeah, so but she broke her fingers. But
Yes.
the first time I read it, I was like, "Wait, is she gonna bite her to draw blood?" Because that's what she was talking about. She wanted to draw blood, and she it's like she just had people in place to watch her, and that would kind of make sense if you're this mean, vindictive, nasty person. To you, everybody is considered your enemy. So you're going to have people watching who you think you can, who are close to you, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. You're going to have people. So it does make sense, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting um the boy to.
You know what? I wasn't expect that. That kind of caught me for a second. I was like, ooh, because I did. Like I said, I knew he was trash, but I like had like a little. You always have a little hope, like maybe he's gonna redeem himself in chapter
Yeah.
43 and do something nice by the end of the book. Like that's kind of like what you hope happens. It's kind of like what her bodyguard did, but I saw that coming. Uh,
Yeah.
I knew
But
he was
he
gonna.
was trying, like I said, when it was too easy, he was trying so hard because he was able to book appointment with her. He
Mhm,
was always close to her. He didn't really care about repercussions when
mhm.
everybody cared about repercussions, even the bodyguard did.
Yep.
And so thinking on it now, it's like, okay, I see where he was being a puppet in all of this as well,
Mhm.
because he wasn't careful at
No.
all. And he even did it in 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 front of everybody. He did it in the
Yep.
library. He did it when she was out the first time.
Yep. And at his appointment, there are other people in the room. So he
Yeah.
did it in front of all of them. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, and it's gonna piss me off. And this one thing might keep me from reading the book. You might have to read it first and then tell me if it's safe. Because
Okay.
this is gonna like burrow itself into my mind. I'm gonna get pissed off. So clearly when it was revealed that Auguste, whoever he is, yeah, whatever his name is, when it's revealed that that he was sort of a pawn in all of this, that he was spying on her and he was scaring her and collecting her secrets for his mother, for the I don't actually not sure who he was working for. He seemed to be working like for his mom and for the
Yeah, because
crazy princess.
his mom is going to be the new DeBerry.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder if anybody told Barry that. But because she didn't even show up at the end of the book, so like I don't know where she is.
No.
But he seemed really upset about it. Like when they were like he was trying to remove himself from the situation. Like he seemed to be an unwilling participant, but he was like way too willing when he was doing it. So like I don't know. But here's what's gonna happen. Second book is gonna roll around. So we got people on the run, whatever. He's gonna like show up in an alley or something, and he's gonna try to apologize, and he's gonna try to redeem himself, and she's gonna wind up in a very unnecessary love triangle with him and the bodyguard. And I and I'm gonna be mad that she's even gonna be considering him because he's a trash human. Um, that's gonna happen.
If
You
that
know it's coming. Just
I'm gonna have to find someone
I
else to read it
know
because
it's
if that happens, I don't want to read it because I can't stand love triangles.
all right.
I
So
can't stand,
I'm
especially
one
in
of my
this situation, because she
one
is
of my kids to read it
deliberately
and like report back.
no, she would be deliberately. This is the not the exception of a love triangle because
No, it's
he
not.
obviously did that, and obviously Remy likes her, which I hope he does. Hope he
Yeah,
does.
he
She
does.
deliberately putting herself in a situation to where she has to decide when the decision is already there. We
Yep.
don't need any more distractions because
Yep.
of what Augusta what he did.
Am I
And then
right
at the
though?
same
Am I wrong? You know it's coming.
I think yeah, at the same time, like you said, I feel like he wasn't at that very last second, he probably did want to back away from it because he asked her to leave, which that was crazy because if you're so far into it, they're gonna find you. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be very, very hard. And if Sophie had him spying on her, she had people spying on him too to make sure
Yep.
he's doing exactly what she told him to do.
Yep.
And I feel like his mother is just as vindictive as Sophie is as well because she had no type of qualms about her, anything like that. Especially when when the girl, what's her name? The one that got that Amber and Camellia accidentally killed.
Oh, I don't remember. I'll find it. But keep going, keep going.
But she was wanting to run away as well. And
Yes,
so
her
that
girlfriend. I love that.
I mean it was I don't know. I was just as shocked because I wasn't expecting that to happen, but I what I was expecting to happen with that was the Sophie finding out about it, but I didn't think that she would go to the lengths of putting her through all of that because her body was just changing and all that stuff, and then she just died. And then right she died, she like dessert.
That
This is like what's her name? I can't even think of her name. The queen when she said give them cake. Marie Antoinette.
yes, let them eat cake. That's
Let
so
them eat it.
wrong. She did. Claudine's body is just laying in the middle of the floor. Her servant slash girlfriend is crying in a corner. Goose is like, "Ooh, I wish I had left." And you got Amber and whatever what's her darn name? I don't know. Having a small internal meltdown. That was a mess. But I will say, just like another like I guess like technical writing issue. Like if we have Auguste's mom, she just like popped up out of nowhere. So like I couldn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like here's this woman who just like who are you? And now you're taking over some stuff. Like I think I wish if she was gonna play such an important part in the rising action or like climax of the story that I wish she had been around for a while so I could care because like
Yeah.
I just didn't. I was just kind of like, okay, we'll take her job. You know, like I just
Mhm.
couldn't I just didn't care that much. Um, but yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot that was happening. And that teacup monkey was also kind of evil. And I think the teacup monkey was watching on Goose. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but that teacup monkey seemed to be like a little sentient, like seemed to know a little too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
that, but
with
I think that's gonna come back and bite them later. That teacup monkey.
I hope all of them get exactly what they deserve because they were just so wrong. And the first like the lady was what came thinking the word I'm looking for harboring all of those bills in her house.
In chains? In
I was
chains!
like, what? That was another section I had to go back and reread. And then how she caught Camellia because of her scent.
Yeah, it was
Like,
weird.
okay, first of all, how are you? Well, maybe so, but I'm picturing like the girls are very, very unkept.
Yep,
They look like how Ivy looked. I'm pretty sure there's a very, very, very strong foul odor,
yep.
and she was able to detect Camellia.
A dusting of flour, like somewhere in the air. That make no
I was
sense.
like, okay, and then DeBerry knew that all of this was happening in the house because, of course, that's her sister. And it added another okay, so why are all these girls here and eh, like what's going on?
Well,
This
it leads you to why are they here? Where did they come from? How were they identified as bells at all? Like how did just where did you find them? Like, were they like babies with Camellia and Adele and like the other seven, six, something like that? Were they
yeah,
like babies with the rest of them, but something went wrong? Like, why are they all deformed? Every single one of them was deformed, which was
yeah,
I also thought was really weird and again also kind of played into that like a beauty physical aspirations aspect of the story, that the only bells you can show off are the ones who are like perfect, quote unquote. Um, but where did they come from? Which then kind of leads us to that weird ending, which I'm just not even ready to talk about yet. I mean, I don't know, like a weird plot twist. It took
yeah.
me a minute to catch up on. What? I don't know. I don't know.
And then
Which I
also
guess
there was
he had some foreshadowing too. I feel kind of like a goober that I didn't pick up on that in
yeah,
advance. Who was the one who stayed home or who went back home? I don't even
that
remember.
was Valerie. She was the one that was looking after the new Bell babies,
Yes,
and they were
which is
growing up really fast.
yes, and came from nowhere.
And look, okay, so one of the older bells, Ambrosia, who was a
Yes.
queen's bell, looked
Yep.
just like Camellia. And then there's another baby bell that looks just like Camellia.
Yep.
It's just that they're not born; they're grown.
Grown like my hyacinth, I guess.
And
Like little
I
bulbs.
was, because I was wondering where they come from because if everybody is born gray, so I'm like, where they come from? Why aren't they born gray? Well, maybe they're just that's what the sky, not the sky goddess,
Beauty god.
the beauty
Yeah.
god did. Because at the beginning they said this the sky guy. What's it? What was it?
It's
He
like it
fell in
was
love
like
with
it
beauty.
felt kind of like a Hades. Yeah, like this guy fell in love with Beauty, but then Beauty hung out too much with
Her
the children,
kids,
the kids, and he got mad and made them all go.
the god of sky. Yeah, and so yeah, I was wondering like, were they even like where they even come from? Actually, the beginning, like that part of the story actually reminded me. Have you read the Dark Corner series by Shirley Kenyon?
No.
Okay, there it's just like the premise of that story is like the a god fell in love with a human and something happened to him and they're called the acolytes. And that's kind of like what this is as well because I was thinking about that when I read that part.
Mhm.
But I don't know. This book was, I would say I was more so confused a lot of parts of this book than I could, or maybe it's because I procrastinated so much and I read it the very last minute. So maybe that's what it is because
I
I didn't like really take in a lot because I did have to go back and reread some stuff on it.
yeah.
But that ending, I caught that ending really good, especially when Sophie started getting all really showing her colors and whatnot, that's when it
Yeah.
started kinda getting good because she is crazy.
She's insane.
She
And like,
started from when she showed the workshop and how she
oh
would
yes,
get those leeches
it was
and
all
she
downhill.
would
You eat them.
yes, and then, like, she would take the blood that was drew from
The
Camellia when she put the
necklaces.
necklace on,
Yep.
or when the blood fell on her clothes and she had the blood extract from her clothes and stuff. That sounds like some serious horror movie slasher psychopath type of thing.
Have you heard about there was like a real woman in history? So my brother used to watch this channel all the time. Like he went through this phase where all he watched was History Channel. And for some reason there was one on like real vampires or something. And there used to be this crazy lady in real life who was obsessed with eternal youth. So she would kill young women in her town and bathe in their blood.
I
And
think
so
I've
I
heard
was
something like
like,
that.
listen, you want that's how crazy Sophie is. But so when they were in the workshop and she was talking about her obsession with his blood, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna kill her and she's gonna bathe in her blood in the bathtubs. I was like, this is what's gonna happen. Like that's what I had mentally prepared myself for. I was like, she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it. It hasn't happened yet, but we still got book two, so I'm still
Yeah.
holding for some crazy vampire nonsense. But she is absolutely insane. But what I will say, I almost want to say that like Sophie was Sophie was almost like the best character creation in the book because it
Yeah.
was such a slow burn to insanity, like really slow. It started off so innocent. Like it just started off with, this princess who liked to experiment and change and be different. So she valued the belle who also liked to experiment and change and be different. And so like it almost set them up to be like a really good pair. And she just slowly lost her ever loving mind. I mean, like, if you stop and think about this from like a technical standpoint, Sophie's the best character in the book.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
so terrifying.
Yeah, I did. I felt like she was written really well,
Yes.
and when I said that all the characters felt one-dimensional to me, she really did have that slow burn, which was great for the story because she was crazy. That ending was like she just started out with Camellia with her hand, and then the the poisoning. Like right after she broke her finger, she tried to poison her,
Yes.
and then had the other girl killed, and then
Took her poor servant and locked her up in that box. Starvation
yeah,
box. brought back the prince who tried to assault her. Like it was just a lot. Like
Exactly.
just
Tried
she
to marry her friend off, well, not friend, well, the girl off to
yes,
a rapist because
she's
and
gone
then had
through
the nerve
three
to
fucking
wink.
wives.
He had the nerve to even wink at
Yes.
Camellia.
Oh my God. Oh, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. And then,
Yeah,
but
that scene was crazy.
it was. It was just like a lot. Like it was just like I almost feel like I almost picture it in my mind kind of like a deadline thing. Like it's like I'm gonna write this book, this book is great. And then you look up and you're like, oh, it's due like in 3 days. Like everything needs to happen all
Yeah.
at the same time and the end. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, cause that's exactly happened. Cause like I feel like I said now that plot. Okay, so the whole time Camellia, all her sisters, are all corresponding through balloons.
Hot air balloons. I don't know. I didn't get it. I just let it happen. I let it
I
fly.
didn't get
I
that either.
couldn't use balloons.
So first, okay, they're all corresponding through balloons, and we only hear from how you say her name. I keep forgetting the one
Adele.
Adele. She told her that she's gonna run away.
Hmm.
So now we don't at this point we don't know if she really did or not because the tattlers, which are like reporters,
Yeah.
said that she ran away. But everybody's keeping up the appearances that she hasn't. And
Hmm.
then just one by one, each of the sisters of the Bells stop writing to Camellia. Because the only ones you really hear about are Camellia, Amber, and Adele. The rest of them, we don't know what's going on with them
Yeah.
because Hannah stopped replying as well when she was hearing the crying and the
Yep.
stuff in there too. So
Yep.
it's like they just dropped from being the main characters and just she just did something with them. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll show up in the second one. And so like and then like later on we know that Adele really did run away. And so after everything that went on with the queen wanting Camellia to wake up Charlotte because Charlotte is the rightful heir to the throne and finding out that she's been poisoned this whole time. Oh, and another thing. Okay, my mind is like going everywhere.
I know.
So when the queen was showing Camellia all like Charlotte, I had this image that she was like she had like she didn't have the gray skin or anything like that. But when they were trying to figure out when at the end when Camellia was trying to bring her back, she had the gray skin, she didn't have any hair, she had, like there was a wig that she had on, other
Yes,
stuff.
they snatched her wig off. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed a little bit. I
I
did.
did too because I was like "What?" Because they were describing her as if she wasn't aging or
Yeah.
if she wasn't, being changed, and
Hmm.
then it jumped to that part in the scene, okay, she is. It's just a lot it's not a lot of consistency within it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it does bounce. Yeah, I mean, they really described her almost like having Snow White syndrome. Like she just like like when Snow White's like asleep. She actually didn't sleep that long. But in theory, if Snow White had been asleep for a long time, she would have stayed exactly the same. Um, but then, yeah, when you get to the point to where Camelia's like inspecting her and what's her name, Charlotte, and trying to figure out what's wrong with her, then that's when you realize she's in a wig and they snatch her hair off and like, the
yeah,
comb. The comb is the
and
key
then,
to it
like, okay
all.
yeah, so if she had a wig on so the comb was in the wig?
Yeah, I think
Because
the
the
comb
comb
was
was
in the
poisoned.
wig, and then the comb. So I think okay, so that part I did get. So the comb, so the it was like one of those. It's not like a comb. It's like a comb that you like stick in. So the comb tips were poisoned, and when the comb it dug into her scalp a little bit, and so I think that's how the poison was seeping into her. Like the
Okay,
comb like pierced her like scalp and was seeping in through her hair follicles. I
okay,
don't know.
so okay,
Yeah, so that it was just like so instead like so and the thing is Camellia was poisoned by the same thing, which was strange. It makes you wonder like how much of this stuff did I don't know. But so Camellia was poisoned by the same thing, which is how she recognized it. But I think Camellia ingested it and then like it kind of passed through her body. But I think because the poison was on this comb, like it just continued to affect Charlotte until they took it off, is what I think. Because
yeah,
if I remember, she didn't use any power at all, which meant anyone could have woken this girl up. Like anyone, any well-meaning servant who wanted to brush this girl's wig could
yeah,
have woken her up, but like no one did.
and a lot of their problems could have been solved. a lot that Sophie calls. It could have been solved, but
Uh,
it didn't.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
like
so.
after they have finally, hold on, another one. So when let me see, go back, get my thoughts together.
Get
So
it.
when Sophie was, I know I read it, but they had Charlotte's body sitting on the throne.
Yes. And then I think was she like walking down the hall at one point too. Hold on. Okay. Okay.
So
So, I'm sorry.
and then like the next page, she was back in the room because Camilla had to go wake her up.
Okay. So I know what you're saying. So the first time that we saw Charlotte, I do not understand what was happening. But I swear to God, Camellia was in a hall, like walking somewhere, and like the princess was like walking past. Obviously not walking, so I don't know if they were like carrying her in an upright position to like get some air. But someone they made some sort of comment which let because like Camellia didn't know who that they were, she was like, who was that? And that's the first time that we saw the queen's bell in her head cover thing, like her face
I
cover.
must have missed all of that.
I know because I swear to God, because later when I realized who it was, I was like, were they dragging her down the hall? Like I just couldn't. But no, that happened. And then another time, Sophie, I think it Sophie who had Charlotte sitting next to her on the throne.
Yes,
Yes,
because
that
it
was.
had she had the crown on her head,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then
Why they keep moving this?
2 pages later, she was because, Camellia did something with her magic, and she was gonna kill Camellia because Sophie was
Yeah.
threatening her and Amber, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next scene, I missed it reading it, trying to hurry up and read it or something, but I don't remember them taking her back Camellia back to the room, not Camellia, Charlotte back to the room, and I don't remember.
I swear she
Okay,
was
I
walking
remember
down the
Camellia
hall.
escaping the jail because Remy did it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them taking Charlotte back in there
Okay,
because
okay, okay, okay. So Charlotte, okay. No, 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 no. Okay, so I think you got it backwards. So when Charlotte was sitting on the throne next to Sophie, that was when mm, I think something was happening, and I can't remember if Camellia was trying to help her find like a wedding look, or if that was when she tried to remove Sophie's like crappy personality out of her back. Like I can't remember what it was, but this scene where they started to wake her up was later. So like I think they just kind of like I think we just kind of left the room and just whatever happened to yeah, Charlotte moves to a lot of places and they never really describe how she gets there. But I think they don't describe how she gets there because this is all from Camelia's point of view. So Camelia didn't see it, like we don't see it.
yeah.
But then when they took the crown out of her head, and then Sophie was trying to burst into the room, and I think Charlotte was like, and so Camellia and was she with Remy at that point? I don't remember. They were trying to get out of like some secret passage or something, and then Camilla looked back and started to see Charlotte wake up a little bit. So and then somehow they wound up back there again. No, 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 no. And then we read the newsy report that her body had disappeared. Charlotte's body.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
where it
maybe
went. The
I
queen died. The queen died.
yeah.
Charlotte's gone.
The
August
king
was a traitor. I don't know.
and the king was no like, the
And the
king just
king
was
was
like, "You know
dead.
what?
The
Bye."
king's dead. The king
I don't really remember reading about him after Sophie's birthday. That's it. That's all I remember reading
because
about
he
him.
left. Because he left. He went to like some castle in the south. Like he was just like, I'll see you later, and then he just like went somewhere else.
Yeah. I
It,
was like, "Okay."
then
And
he
then
was
the
dying.
king doesn't even rule, the queen does.
Yes,
So, I guess the roles are reversed, so maybe I don't know. But
seriously.
what brings me to, like, so, the cliffhanger. I feel like that was not a justifiable cliffhanger. I feel like that was a plot twist that should have been in much earlier in the story
Do
about
you mean when they got to the hotel, like that
yes,
cliffhanger?
yes,
Okay,
with Adele,
yes. She's like,
because
hi,
I
friend.
knew I knew that she wasn't like I had to feel like she wasn't dead or anything, But the only thing that kind for me that the questions that outweighed how she got to where she was, okay, so we know the queen died because she was sick. So where is Charlotte now? And now that Sophie is queen. So those two were good ones for to set up for the next book and a good cliffhanger. But I felt like the last part, I don't know. I just feel like that wasn't I
Okay.
just felt that it wasn't didn't fit there for me.
Have you read the Maze Runner series?
I haven't.
Okay, darn, this is gonna work then. Because what happened in this book also happened in the Maze Runner, one of the second book, but it happened in the middle of it, which is what I'm wondering if that would have worked out better for you. But then, like, I don't know. I think I think maybe they thought they had to do something. Like, so everyone has escaped. And can I just express how mad I am that Amber is there at all? I
Yeah.
really cannot
Well,
stand
she's a
her.
servant, so that's so she gets what she wants. She's a
That is,
servant.
but I'm just like mad that she's there at all. For some, that just it doesn't make sense to me because I really kind of blame Amber more for killing. Oh, I forgot her name. Whatever her name was.
Yeah, because she wouldn't stop because she was like,
She
"I'm not gonna
wouldn't
let you be better
stop.
than me."
Right. She's like, I'm gonna be the new favorite. I'm gonna be the new favorite. Like, why do you want to go back to being the favorite? Did you forget everything that had happened previously? So I really blame her for killing this woman. And she just always, I don't know. It's just like one of those friends. Whenever they describe a friend you need to cut out of your life, like that is how I think about Amber. Like, this is when you need to just let go of.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of mad that she's there. But I think they felt like they needed to do something other than like running away and going to sleep. Like I feel like I don't know, the big four publishing houses, would have been like, I'm gonna need you to add just one last twist, and this was it. But and I can almost see how this happens too. I bet Adele figured it all out, right? Like I bet she figured out about the bells. Like there's always that one person who figured everything out before everybody else, and I
yeah,
foresee her being that person, and then like leading them to some rebellion or something. Like that's just such I don't know. I might be wrong, but that just kind of feels like
yeah. And like the
how
only
she's
question I would
doing.
get from that situation is, okay, so who helped you and how important they are in the story?
Yeah.
Because I don't think she got there by herself.
She might have. Adele was kind of like, she was kind of hardcore. She was kind of
Yeah,
hardcore.
she was.
She might have. Like, she wasn't having any of this from the get go. Like, before they even like, announced the favorite, she was like, I don't care. I don't want to be here. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Like, from the start, Adele was like, you're ridiculous. I'm
Yeah,
going to go soon. So she probably had some plan brewing from when she tried to get them to run away once when they were like
yeah,
12.
yeah.
So
And she
I
did
think
it
Adele had this figured out for a minute.
yeah, she did it when they were at the tea houses. She did. So
At the tea. No, when they were kids, when they were in training. Did you miss that part?
I probably did. I
Oh
probably did. All when I know is when she messaged her, sent her that letter,
my
and she was
God.
like, "I can't take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna run away," with that
Oh,
secret
okay.
message that they got.
So I think that's probably why Adele popping up at the end wasn't such a surprise for me because there is this part where Camellia was having like a flashback or telling a story. I don't know what she was doing, but she was telling about how when they were little, like when they were like 8 or 9, like when they were still in training, Adele had this idea that they were all going to run away. They packed bags, they put food in it, and they all like walked to some ravine or something. And like Adele was about to leave them out, like, but then like they just stood there. Like I think like Amber was mad about it. One of them was crying. Camellia was like, because they
I
were,
missed that.
in there. No, it was like a whole
I
story.
missed it.
But then
You know what?
Barry like caught them and took them home. but
I I was gonna even like whenever I see italic writing for like memory and flashback, I kind of skim it. I don't even read them. I you know.
I'm with you.
But I missed that. If that was the italicized words, I
I
probably
don't,
didn't read it.
I don't remember, but it was definitely in there. So that's why when Adele popped up at the end, I was like, Adele been planning on escaping y'all folks for like a good 8 years now. So like I wasn't too surprised. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Adele had been like running away from DuBarry's home like every weekend to meet up with like a rebellion.
Oh
I
yeah,
really wouldn't be surprised.
I can
So
see that.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll know. I can't get over these bulb babies. So are they all named after flowers because they're like little bulbs,
I
like
guess
onions?
so. Little balls.
I
I
mean,
guess
that's how I'm
so.
picturing it, like little like bulbs.
But you know,
Are
like
they
at the
clones
rate,
of bulbs?
that they're growing. Okay, let's just say none of this happened. None of the bad stuff happened. Let's just say the bills are where they're supposed to be. At the rate of the other baby bills, how they're growing, it doesn't look like these current bills are going to be what they're doing for long because she said they were just celebrating their third birthday and they were born like a couple of months ago.
People go, yeah. Like, but so that was another. Because sometimes I'll get caught up in these numbers. I'm not even a numbers person. I don't even like numbers. I was trying to figure out. I was like, how old are the rest of the bells? So you've got
Yeah.
Camellia, and then you've got Ivy. It's like, how old is Ivy? And then you've got Ivy, and then you've got, I think, and then the queen
Ambrosia.
girl, Ambrosia, who I think was before Ivy. I'm like,
Yeah.
how could it be? Like, I just kind of like got caught, and I was like, are you only a belle for like a year and a half? Like, I
Yeah.
really couldn't figure it out. And then like and then I really didn't pick up on the fact that they were going to be like grown like weeds. Like I really didn't. I really thought that like I don't know, like the women like took a gentleman to like have a kid. Like I really thought that was just like that. I don't know. That's what they did
Yeah.
when they went home. Like when they were tired, when they were done. Like then they had kids and raised their kids and died apparently. Because I feel like all their moms are dead. I don't know.
Yeah. I know her mom, cause this mom got burned. They burned her. Okay, that was
Remember?
not like that. Yeah, she got cremated. We'll say that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But we don't know how she died. But yeah. I just I'm really stuck on these like hyacinth. You know what it is? Because I have a hyacinth right over there, and it just started to sprout, and so like I'm just picturing like a bulb like nestled in a tube of
Yes.
water, and like a baby grows out of the top, which I know is completely ridiculous, and I gotta stop. I've been watching too much Sci-Fi Channel, but I'm real hooked on the magicians right now. Forgive me, but I don't. I just don't know.
Maybe they'll explain it more in the second one.
They
Because the only
better.
thing we got in the first one was how they became of existence, like the reason why they're in existence. That's the only thing
Quote
we really got.
unquote. Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
I can't even believe that story anymore. Because, and then I can't believe that story anymore because you have these other bells that have been locked in a closet, um, who don't look
Yeah.
them
I think
country.
that was needed in the story to add is like just these bells that we have here that are active, they are very, very beautiful. And you have these bells here that have deformities or not perfect. And I think that was needed to be, let me get this right because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think
Yeah.
they were needed to be in the story to remind you that you don't have to be how these girls look here, but they were treated so badly because they did have these imperfections
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. So you can kind of take different things from the 2 bells, but
Yeah.
I think it depends on the person's mindset about it because someone that may not think of themselves as that, they're probably like, "Okay, well, this is just what society is. I don't look a certain way, so I'm gonna get talked about or
Right.
treated
Right.
differently because I have this deformity," instead of looking like the bells on this side. And I feel like she put that there to kind of, sort of, just a little bit say you don't have to exactly look like them to be a belle, because I
Right.
didn't think they were bells until they said that they were bells
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the story.
I think where I got a little lost was that the descriptions of those bells was very similar to the description of Ivy. And Ivy
Mhm,
at some point had to have looked like a traditional bell in order to have gotten to where she got in the first place.
mhm.
So that's where I got lost because I was like, did did the bells that are locked up, were they born that way or were their powers abused? And that's how they wound up looking that way, the same way Ivy was. Like Ivy's powers were abused, and so that's why her arcana got all
Yeah,
out of whack, and that's how she wound up, how she did. So
she was looking
it,
rough.
she
they abused her powers some, but she had a beautiful heart because of
She
how
did.
she loved, she really wanted the best for Camellia, and I
She
felt so
did.
bad for her because she knew the ulterior motives and everything, and
Yeah.
the fact that Sophie put her
Yep.
did Sophie put her through all of that? Yeah.
I think so.
They put her through all of that where her eyes were not
Like a fish? I think that was what
yeah,
she did.
and then her lips was dark like leeches and her
Yeah.
skin was and it was that moment where Camellia was like, "What could I do?"
Yeah.
And it's just that broke my
Mhm.
heart. Like,
Yeah.
because I
He's like, "Can I fix it?" She
yeah,
tried.
and then, and now Ivy's gone, and I hope that she's not being I hope she's okay.
She's gonna turn up too. I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
She's got
so
to. But yeah, so that's what threw me a little bit with the look of the other bells. I didn't know if they were just like born non-traditional bell appropriate for, I don't know, lack of a better term, like if they were born kind of deformed or whatever their issue was, or if the abuse of their powers caused them to look like that. That was the part where I got a little bit confused. They didn't really,
yeah. There's a
but
lot of I think you have more questions coming out of it than you do going in.
you
That's
do.
a lot. But the good thing about it is it does set it up for the second one. But I am looking for the majority of these questions to be answered in the second one. I don't want to leave out having more questions than I going into the second
I know, God, but if it's gonna be a trilogy, we're gonna be a hot mess. But I will say though, I'm gonna have to get one of my kids and be like, I need you to power read this book real quick because if I don't think I can deal with like a bad love triangle. Like I said, I like a good love triangle. I like a good. There are good ones that I will believe in forever. That I can read through. There are good, worthwhile love triangles. Then there are just like trash triangles, and I just really hope that 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 we don't have to go through the nonsense that
one.
I
I
feel in
hope
my
so too.
soul is coming.
That will definitely turn me off from the book because it's okay if she chooses Remy and stays with him, and then a goose is just there as a flea trying
Yes.
to get her, and
Yep.
and then she uses him
Mm-hmm.
as like, okay, so I'm gonna recruit you in my little rebellion, and uses him for that, but stays with
Yeah.
Remy.
Yep.
Stay with Remy,
I
please.
don't
Stay
know
with him.
though.
But if she messes with Remy, it's on.
She's gonna do it. I feel in my heart. And you know what? We have a whole 6, 7, 8. Now we got a whole 10 days to wait and find out because this book is the second one. What is it? The Everlasting Rose
Oh, good. We don't
comes
have
out
to wait that
March
long.
5th. And
Right.
but I need to know first. Otherwise, I'm just gonna throw the book across the room. Like if I even if I catch a whiff of that nonsense.
I'm gonna read it first, and I'll let you know. I am gonna
Okay,
read it because
okay,
I need to know,
okay.
but I really hope not. I know it is, but
It's
I'm sticking out that it doesn't. I
let me
can't.
see. Sometimes a description will tell us some stuff.
Look up the
Mm.
description of it.
Oh, yes. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
There's a really good line. Okay. In this sequel to the instant New York Times bestseller, Camille, that's her short name. Camille, her sister Adele, and her guard and new love Remy must race against time to find Princess Charlotte. Sophie's imperial forces will stop at nothing to keep the rebels from returning Charlotte to the castle and her rightful place. One time there were going to be some rebels in there. With the help of an underground, I told you, I didn't even read this in
Yeah.
advance. With the help of an underground resistance movement called the Iron Ladies, a society that rejects beauty treatments entirely, in the backing of alternate newspaper The Spider's Web, Camille uses her powers, her connections, and her cunning to outwit her greatest nemesis, Sophie, and restore peace to Orleans. I knew that, love. I knew it. Okay, now I gotta read it. We gotta. Yay. But I knew there's going to be some rebels. There's always some rebels. There's always a resistance group. This one has a newspaper
Yeah,
now.
anytime you have somebody trying to overthrow a government, you got a group of rebels. That's the YA formula. You got to have it. You have to
Then
have
I
that
come up,
subtle romance and the rebels and the epic battle at the end.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So
You do.
yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait
I
to read it.
like
I
that
hope
new
you have it
rep.
on order.
I don't. I don't. I do the orders, and I do not recall ordering this. So I have a lot of work to do on Monday. I gotta fabricate a cart in Baker and Taylor real quick, and I gotta toss this on in there.
See,
Uh,
I miss doing that. I don't order anymore. We have a committee for that now. But I would have a specific day for just me and Baker and Taylor, and we just would sit
mhm.
there, have multiple windows open with different resources and sources for me
Yep.
to look up books.
Yep.
I actually liked ordering books, but I guess to take the load off and But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna see if it's on order at the library now because I'm waiting on a lot of stuff on order. I'm waiting on the Wicked King, and I'm waiting on.
I'm
Well, I
the
got a
Wicked
curse.
King. It's over there. It's on my
I'm
table.
I'm waiting to read it. I'm waiting on a curse. Well, no, I have the Curse of Dark and Lonely at the library waiting on me. I
I
didn't
don't
get it
have
today,
that.
but yeah, I'm waiting on the Wicked King.
What, have that book behind me? Oh, I do. I was like, I have that. Okay, haven't
Yeah.
read it yet. I'll get there. It's really big. Just a quick parrot over to the Crow Print. I
Hmm.
saw your little star ratings. And I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Did you like it?
I did like it. I liked it enough to want to read Wicked King,
Okay.
but the in some parts I can't even remember, and that's sad. So it is sad. It just shows that it wasn't really memorable for me.
No.
But I did like I love Jude. I did not like Taryn. I did not like Locke. I did not like Maddie.
Nobody likes Locke.
I didn't like
Nobody.
Maddie. He just used Jude,
Not
and
crazy.
Taryn knew what was going on.
Kind of like Maddox.
And
I feel really bad, but I kind of like Maddox. I did.
I didn't feel bad at all
I did. I felt
because he was
like
going to kill.
Christmas.
He was going to
You
I don't know if
know,
I say this is like that's like people still reading it. Like, okay, this is a spoiler. So if you haven't read Cruel
abort
Print,
mission
just log
and
off.
just love go read this darn book.
Just log off because I'm about to say a spoiler. So he was about to kill Jude because of
Mm,
her going against him. So I think did. I felt like he had a responsibility to her because he killed her parents.
yeah, just rude.
And yeah, and then he was going to use the boy, which really wasn't his son, so he can rule.
Wasn't that some mess? That's when I had to read. I was like, hold on, let me get this straight in my head.
Yeah,
Let me make sure I understand what just happened here. That's a lot.
and I actually like Prince. How you say Dane or Dane? Dane.
Oh,
I liked
the
him.
oldest, older one.
Yeah, and his death did shock me. I wasn't
Listen,
really expecting him to die,
they killed everyone. Everyone in
which
that
was
one
stupid and
scene. I
reckless.
was like, hold on. I was like, did John just kill like six people on a stage? Did that just happen? Oh, it did.
And he was so dumb because he needed them to crown him.
All right, listen.
I
I don't know.
I
But I
don't
did
get
like
it.
that twist at the end, though. That was a good twist.
Yeah, I did
That was,
like that.
yeah, yeah. Just
I give
really,
the whole story overall 3 stars.
I don't know. I saw it. It's
So
okay.
I see a lot of 5 stars. I was like, it didn't do it for me. It really
I
didn't.
really hated that sister relationship. I did struggle with that, like really bad. What was it?
Yeah,
What was the twin? Was Taryn the twin?
yeah,
Oh,
Taryn and Jude, and then it was
oh Jesus. And there was the
Evie,
older
however.
Evie, Ivy. I don't know. Yeah. Taryn. Oh, what a epic struggle that was. I every time I can't even think about it. I'm
Like, how
tired.
could you do that to your sister? Like, how
I
you
can't even-
know? Why would you do that? And then got had the nerve to get a little jealous when she saw him with Carden, and Locke did too. I'm like, did y'all just forget? Did you just forget what you just did? I think you did. So you deserve everything that comes your way because you did this. You deliberately put your sister in this situation.
They sure did.
So
Coldly and
you deserve it.
calculatingly. Like they put some effort into destroying June. And then she went on
And
and
Jude
destroyed
stuck her.
everybody.
Yeah, Jude took up for Taryn. She was there for her, even though they were like the same age, and everything. You could still see the naiveness of Taryn,
Mm-hmm.
and she stood up for her. She did everything like a big sister would do, and
Mm-hmm.
Taryn did that. And
Yes.
Locke just was. I really don't understand
Rad.
his motive.
What did he say?
Like,
He liked a good story. Was that what his saying was? I read this a long time ago, so I can't.
yeah, yeah.
Them
He said
stories, though,
something
I
like
read
that.
the last few books with some fairies in them, and while I am frighteningly intrigued, like thank God these guys aren't real because I know I would wind up in trouble. I really do. Like I'm just way too intrigued by them. But they do some trifling stuff, and he just wanted to see them go at them each other, which in and of itself is a hot mess. But the bigger mess is that Karen was like, "That's fine, that's
Yeah,
fine."
that's why I didn't understand it. So you're trying to see which one would actually fight over you because he asked you that. Would you kill over me or die for me? Something crazy.
He was like,
He asked
"No,
her, and then that's when everything hit the roof
yep."
because that's when the coward of a prince killed everybody because he felt like he needed the crown. And you know what? The one thing I did like about that scene was one of the other royalties or whoever was there told him that he was a coward and he's
Hmm.
no king, and then they left, and he ended up being helping Jude.
Yep, yep.
I'm like, dude, why are you? That course just kept going on and on and on. Why are you killing? You need them to crown
Well,
you.
but they still had what's his face, who was the only one not in the room. I forgot where he was, but he was the only. Wasn't he the only one not there?
Yeah, he wasn't there,
So there
so
was still someone left to crown him.
he still was looking for him. I mean, like, I, okay, because this is what makes him think that Carter is going to crown him king after he just killed everybody.
I'm gonna tell you because Cardin's kind of a wimp too. Like he's kind of a
Well,
coward also.
yeah, I
So
can
I
see that.
think they thought that he could be bullied into it. Now listen, don't get me wrong, because I'm kind of like loving him more and more. I audiobook the first one, but I'm gonna read the second one because I think I'm gonna power read it. Like I probably won't go to sleep tonight. Because I had to finish a couple books before I could get to this. Um, but he's kind of a coward. I think he's kind of a coward, and it showed from the whole way he dealt with this Jude debacle. Like he acted like a little boy on a playground throwing rocks at the girl he liked, except like with powers and like
Yeah,
prestige. That's essentially what he was doing, was like poking the girl he liked with a stick from behind a bush. Like it was basically the same thing. But I think they thought that he could trick Pardon, or not even trick him, just be like, do it or I'll kill you.
yeah, because he was
And
beating
he
him.
would have done it.
He was beating him, and
He got a
like
mess
he had
like
his
that.
servant.
He's got a little Draco Malfoy in it too.
Yeah, I can see him being, yeah. It's just, but yeah, I didn't care for Matic. I mean, he got what he deserved. I mean, he
I
got what
know
he
he
got.
did. I don't know where this like touch of sadness comes from. I really don't. Like even in myself, I'm like, this guy was awful. He just killed everything, everyone. He just nothing but evil from the get go. But I think he tried so hard to like he took it. He treated the twins better than he had to,
Yeah,
and I think that was kind of what, like, he could have just done the very basics. And I think they even mentioned at some point he could have done the very basics of like food, clothes, and shelter, and then just like had nothing else to do with them. But he took it like a little above and beyond. He was a
yeah,
horrible human, but I think it's that little thing that just makes me like feel for him a little
yeah, and maybe he did love them to a
bit.
certain
His
point,
own
but
weird way. Like,
he loved his ruthlessness more,
he did.
because if
He
he
did.
didn't, he wouldn't thoughts of killing Jude wouldn't have crossed his mind, or he would have
Mhm.
found, I don't know, I feel like the situation probably could have been handled differently, but
Yeah.
he was gonna kill her.
I think I'm more mad at Karen because, like, what? just like I don't know. And maybe that's also diluting my anger at Maddox because at least Maddox makes sense. He's just like a ruthless fairy king. Like what do you expect? Like that well, he
Yeah.
wasn't king. But you know what I'm saying? Like he acted exactly as he should have acted. But like when the twins when they were like sword fighting in that hallway, I was bugging out. And I think I was driving through like like a downtown area where the streets are tight and like cars are like I was driving through the wrong place to be listening to that theme. And I was like, I really hope if one person jumps in front of my car, I do not know if I'm moving that fast enough. Because I was like it was like very emotionally involved. And so I think just like my hatred for her deleted my hatred for everyone else. I hope she ain't even in this book, Karen. I really do. I hope she ain't even here.
uh,
I'll text
I
you at
hope
midnight and let you know because I have a feeling I'm gonna be awake.
I like the Wicked King better. But you know what? The whole time I was reading Cruel Prince, I did get that I can see this being a TV show or a
No
movie.
more.
I can really
No
see it on the
more.
screen, but they have to have the aesthetic because I felt that airy kind of not necessarily dark, but that I don't can't even think of a movie to even compare it
It
to.
was dark to me.
Yeah, it is. So I can like I felt like the setting was right. Like I felt like I was there. So that's a good thing. I
Mhm.
don't want to be there, but
I
I felt like I was there because
hope they don't turn this. And you
it
know
was
what? This could be a YouTube conversation in and of itself. But it is killing me slowly every time I see another book optioned for a movie or TV show. Like it is just slowly destroying my soul. And I think Discovery of Witches was what did it for me. Like I think that, which is not young adult. I don't even know what you call that.
I
I don't
haven't
know.
even seen it yet.
I
I'm still reading.
love that book trilogy so much that it is a little unnecessary. But I love it so much. And when I saw they were going to turn it into a movie, it's like I gave up on life. Like I just gave up on the world. I was like, turn this book into a TV show. It's going to be like Twilight, only dumber. Like I just lost my small mind. And I just like, I can't. They can't keep turning things I
They have
love.
a good cast though.
I don't care. I didn't even look them up. I didn't look them up at all. Think what they did with Outlander. I love those books too, and I refuse to watch the show because it just looks like they got
Well, I can't wait to see the Grishaverse on Netflix. I can't wait.
it. Well, I
I,
haven't read that yet, so I'm not super attached. But like, what is it? Why can't I never remember? Children of what is it? Children of
they
Blood and
just
Bone.
announced a director for that.
I know, but see, I just feel I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna get this right. I
You're not
know
excited
you're not
about
gonna.
it?
I'm scared. I'm too scared to be excited. Please don't. Especially when I like a book. Like when I don't like a book. So like The Magicians, for example, the one that's
I'm
a
reading that now
sci-fi
too.
TV show. Ooh,
Hmm
girl, I didn't like that book. I didn't like it. And I don't know if I was too young to read it, but but I was like, they were like, Harry Potter meets whatever, whatever. And I was like, yes. And so I bought it and I'm sitting here and I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm like, I just hate this. I maybe it's gonna get better. And then I'm like, nope, I still don't like it. I couldn't stand it. And I don't know why. Maybe I'll give it another go. So I was okay watching that TV show because I was like, I ain't like this book. But I'll sit here and watch the show that I now can't stop watching. Don't ask me why, because I'm not even sure if I like the show that much, to be quite frank with you. But I keep watching it. But the books that like affect my little beating heart, like if they mess that up, then I'll just like have a lot of
Yeah.
anxiety and
I
cry.
have a friend that never seen Harry Potter. They read all the books, but they never watched it because they were afraid. But Harry Potter
Harry
didn't
Potter's
it's
good.
yeah, it's good, but she will not watch it. She won't watch it. And anytime they say that this book is like Harry Potter, I really don't take that to heart because I have high expectations for something like Harry Potter because Harry
Yeah.
Potter. So I'm like, no, you're lying. Nothing can be compared to this.
And I think I was too naive. Like my mind hadn't reached that point yet because I think I tried to read The Magicians right after it was released on paperback. So like it was a lot of before they even dreamt up a TV show. Like I think I might have still been reading Harry Potter at this point. So I tried like I did so when I saw like similar to Harry Potter's before I realized that those comparisons on the top of the books are like not even real.
Mhm.
Um, I took it to heart and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Magic school. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is not what I wanted at all. But, like, so I was like, whatever. I'll watch your dumb show. And now I'm kind of hooked. But I don't know. I need them to stop. That could be a conversation in and of itself, I guess.
Yeah, because I could go on and on about those. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I think the most anticipated one is the Grishaverse on Netflix because I'm just so curious. I'm glad they said a TV show than the movie. If this is a movie, I probably wouldn't watch it because
That's
they'll
fair.
take out a lot of stuff. So
Hmm.
because they messed up when they made a movie, Shadowhunters into a movie, I was highly upset and I didn't even watch the TV show because that was
You watched the
uh
movie?
I didn't like it.
It's so funny. I actually bailed on watching it because I'm sorry, I didn't really like the book. I think I got weirded out by that sibling thing, and I understand that that all works itself out. But like, I was like, my mind was made up where I was just like, "Ah, I'm done." So I was supposed to watch it, and that night I took my friend a text, and I was like, because like I'm not invested enough to spend money on this movie, so I'm just not gonna go watch it. So I did.
No, man, I haven't finished it yet, and I own the series. I've been on the series. I haven't even finished it yet, but I have finished the okay. Yeah, the Mortal Devices and the intro. Okay, I finished the Inferno Devices, Clockwork Prince.
Like, oh,
I
okay,
love those. I actually like those better than the Mortal Instruments.
really,
But yes, I read that first book in like one day.
those are pretty good
Yes.
books.
And the only reason why I read it because my mom was at the doctor's office and we were there for a while. So
And to kill some time.
yeah, it
I
was
respect
yeah,
that.
but it was good. But yeah, I just they like with Cirque du Freak. Have you read that series?
No, we had a couple of them, but we never had them in order. Like we had just like random, we had like three random
Yeah.
books. Never
So like
read.
that was like the one of the first. Actually, one of my friends got me into it. And it was like when I first got into like the paranormal stuff,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And when I heard they were going to make a movie, I was like, oh my god, yes! And it's like 12 books, I think. They tried to put all 12 of those books in one movie,
Mhm.
and I was at the movie theater. And I was like, what? What did I just watch?
Like y'all know y'all
They
wrong.
tried like even the cast wasn't all that good. They tried to use
Mhm.
comedic actors and serious. It was horrible, horrible,
Oh no.
horrible. That was probably the worst book to movie adaptation I have ever seen, and I
Oh.
was upset. I wish I had Twitter back then. I was like, why? I would, I would dare say like, why did you let them do this to your movie?
But it's taking it to Twitter hard. That's how I feel if they mess up. What is this book called? I feel so bad. Children of Blood and Bone. I don't know why I can't get this right without looking at it. If they, because I really like that book. If they mess this book up, I think I will forever be turned off of watching movie
Oh my
versions
god!
of
I
books.
hope they don't.
I just like that. I'm just getting twitchy. Like, who y'all gonna cast? Please do it right. Please. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they do, cause I hope they do.
We got probably like 2 years before we even
Yeah,
find out.
'cause it's a lot. Like I said, I feel like TV shows are better because you don't have to worry about cutting things to fit
Yeah.
a movie.
That's
So
fair.
we'll just see how it goes, but and I hope not.
Mm, okay. Well, I guess we can end on that hope.
Yeah.
Wishing
So
and hoping.
I don't have anything else about the bells. I'm pretty much done. I am gonna read the second one. I'll read it before you decide, and I'll let you know how it
Yeah,
is.
you gotta because I swear to God, I swear to God, if that unnecessary love triangle that I think is coming comes, I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna do it.
You need to finish Restore Me. Oh
I
yeah.
can't. And it's literally right here behind me. I
The
can't
finish.
do it. I can't. I'm still exactly where I was before. Look, I'm so close. Like I could read, I could power read that in like 2 hours. But I'm so panicked about Warner and Juliet. Like I am just so worked up. And I know everybody gives me the same face where I'm like, does this book end badly for the two of them? Everybody gives me the same face of like,
Yeah, I can't
oh,
tell you.
no, no,
Can't.
no. But the face is like, oh. And that means to me, well, yeah. So I can't, like, I can't, I just can't do it. So I
But
listen,
it's very sweet. I'll say that it's really sweet because
no,
something
there's no
it
sweet.
is. It is. I promise. Like once you finish reading it, and you're gonna be like, I can't really say without
I
spoiling it
know, and
because when
don't
I
you?
read it,
I
I
have
was
one
like,
in
okay,
row.
I understand everything.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I think is I almost think I need to know before I can read it. But I don't think I can handle it emotionally. I know, and I know how this sounds. Like I know Zanessa, I'm like a pretty solitary person. Like when I'm not at home, all I have are half dead plants in these books. Like I'm thinking about buying a turtle so I can have something else alive in my apartment. Like I don't go out a whole lot. Like it is me, myself, and I to the 10th power. So these books are like my whole world. Does that mean I might need a therapist? Maybe. But like, I'm doing okay. So like, I just like it will wreck me. It will wreck my whole
I
world.
think you're making it too much.
No, I know
You
I am,
are.
and
You're
I
making
know
it too
that
much.
too.
It's not. I
I know
mean,
that too.
it okay, but it's
Oh,
you're making it.
I
You're
have
making
a
it too much.
degree in drama. Like this is just who
It,
I am.
it's it's. I promise you. Ugh. You know what? Just finish it like you said the day the other one comes
Yeah.
out, so
Okay,
you can pick it back up.
the day that I get my bookish box, because I get an autograph copy to find me. Excited about that. So the day that box shows up is the day that I will finish this. Like I will finish no matter what time it is. I will finish it that day because I will know that I can at least like I don't have to sit and wallow. That's my thing. I'm a wallower. Like as you can see, I will build something up in my mind to like unmeasurable proportions before I even know it's happened. And like
Yeah.
I've been stewing in this for like a good 9 months. So like it's just like grown and grown and grown. So I just like I just can't. I can't do it right
The
now.
one time I felt like that about a book was Everneath by Brody Ashton. In the last book, okay, so
Mess you up.
they are called what I forgot what they're called. I forgot what they're called. But they're not human. They feed off energy.
Okay.
And so they live like underground. I won't say hell per se, but I don't know. But they live okay, yeah. They live in hell. And so it's ran by the queen of hell. And
Mhm,
they're immortal. They live forever. As long as they can feed off energy, they live forever.
mhm.
And once they stop, however many it's kinda like a Dorian Gray thing. When he saw his picture, all of his age
Oh,
came back to him. So
yep.
once they stop eating feed off energy, they age. Like
Mhm.
and it's not like it's gradually, it happens instantly. And so that happened in the story, and that was the last book. And I was like it's so
Um,
it was like I pretty much could probably talk about them because it's a really old series.
Go ahead.
So
I know. I think we have the series, but I don't plan to read it. So like by
it's
all means,
really old.
tell
So
me what it is.
he obviously loved the main character. He loved her. And her boyfriend really loved her too, but she was adamant with her boyfriend. So that was one love triangle that it was okay. And
Mhm,
either guy she ended up with, I was fine because I really liked both guys.
mhm.
And Cole in the last book, Cole, his name was Cole. Yes.
You
So
remember
in
that
the last
name?
book, he suffered amnesia. He had memory loss. And so she used that to her advantage to try to take him down because ultimately he wanted to overthrow the queen and
Mhm,
use her, Nikki, as his queen and rule the Everneath. But okay, she didn't want that. So he towards the end of the story, we find out that his memory came back a long time ago. And she was like, "Well, why didn't you say anything?" And he was like, because he's helping her overthrow. And he was like, forgive me, I did want to go back with my ulterior motive because this is what I wanted. But he loved her more to not do that. And so she was like, well, we can just destroy the queen and you can come live on the surface with us. So he was like, okay. And that okay didn't sit right with me.
Oh
And so
no.
once they destroyed the queen and everything, and he was his lifeline is in a guitar pick because he played the guitar. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean with Davy Jones where his heart is in another locker.
Mhm,
So that's
mhm.
how his thing is. It was in his guitar pick. And he was once that's destroyed, his age comes to him and he goes back to dust. And so he was like, so before we go to the surface, is there anything you want to tell me? And she was like, no, there isn't anything. And just come on, we're gonna go back to the surface and everything's gonna be okay. So he was like, okay, like, are you sure there isn't anything? And she was like, no, why are you asking me this? And it's just them two down there because everybody else has gone back to the surface. And
Yeah.
so he he starts to kind of get a little teary eyed, and she's like, okay, so why are you like, what's going on? So he hugs her, and that's when she realized that he was gonna break his
Oh
guitar. And
no.
oh my goodness, it's coming back to me. So when he
I can see. I'm watching you do what I
he
just did
broke
over this book.
she was like, "Don't do that," and he broke it. And
Oh.
he stumbled down and, like, he touched her cheek, and she was like cursing, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that?" And he just disintegrated in her arms.
That's
And I
and
was like
and they were like the end. Author's note.
I was like and this was the last book, so it wasn't like I just was like, "Oh my god, my heart." And so that and it also showed that she loved him as well. Not that she loved both of them, but she loved her boyfriend more.
Right.
But he's just I was like, first of all, he wanted her to tell him that she did love him.
Yeah.
Like, even though
Hmm.
he knew that she's gonna be with the other guy. That's why he kept asking her, "Is there anything you wanna say to me?" And she kept saying, "No, I could talk to
No.
you on the surface." That will forever be on my conscience if I was her because I could have told him exactly how I felt, but I didn't, and now he's just dirt on the ground. That was the most bittersweet ending of a book that I have ever read, and
And you
that
just
book
said bittersweet, and you also said that Restore Me is bittersweet. So
it is, but this
I
actually I didn't feel this way when I read Restore Me. I
you
didn't
know what?
this
I think I'm gonna Google it. I think I'm just gonna like Google the ending when
No,
I'm
don't
like,
Google it.
I think
If
I
you're gonna
need.
Google it, I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you to Google it, but yeah, underneath that book, the ending of the book was the most and then another thing is because there was another book in the series, we at least know after this book comes out in March, another one is coming out.
I know.
There wasn't another book coming out, so I had to
I
suffer
know.
through this.
You poor thing. Did you take to Twitter? Was there Twitter then?
No, I wasn't, but I wish I was. I had a book hangover. I was trying to find books kinda like that, and then it's a Hades and Persephone story
Yep.
based off them,
Yep.
and I just I I'm feeling it again, it's just and then he has his own novella from that short time that they were together when he was feeding off her energy, and he went to her oracle, and she told him that this will be your last feeding because she knew the outcome of what was gonna happen, and I read it
No.
right after, and I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I I can't remember another book that really like
That book hit you.
I cried because I just kept picturing in my head, like, that she the author was so descriptive with how it was happening. Like, he just fell fell down, and she was holding him, and he just started to disintegrate from the legs on up.
I know it's not
actually my mom was in the with me. And she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Oh my god, you need to read what I just read."
oh, oh Lord, I can't even breathe. Oh, it's so funny.
It,
Okay.
it was. Oh, no. So Restore Me was not
Who
like that.
is this author? I would never read one of her books again.
She
That's the
asked,
same
I
way I
don't even think
saw
she
Brandon
wrote.
Sanders. She knew she couldn't because she knew her fans would be coming for her. She was like, I better find something else to do now.
That was
Oh,
like it was okay, yeah.
I'm
But yeah, that's
sorry
the
for your
only thing
pain.
that she's written that I know of. I don't think she's written anything else. She has. She wrote she was a part of some anthologies, but
Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna. I was gonna read the last chapter. I'm not gonna do it.
No. You gotta read no. You can't do that. No, you
And
just no. Just wait until the next come out then.
I will. I think it comes. I think it also comes out somewhere around March 5th. Like a lot of stuff comes out that day. And I also need Kenji's novella. I understand that you are not as in love with him as I am. I don't know what it is about quirky, sassy sidekicks that like really get me, but like
Annoying.
I love them. I love them so
No.
much.
It is annoying to okay, to the point where the like when they get that serious moment, that's when I like them. Like when they stop being goofy and act serious and be there for their friend, that's what I like. But
Well, so I love it. I think my moment. Okay, so there were two moments where I decided I love Kenji. So one moment was in the second book where Adam was acting a fool. Maybe I don't remember. Okay, it was. I think it
he
was.
stood up a lot for Juliet in the second book to Adam.
Yeah. Well, there was one part where she and Adam got into a fight, and they were staying in his house. I think that was the second book, and she went on the roof because she was mad, and then Kenji went on the roof with her
Mm.
and was like something about like oh you didn't realize like we're best friends like he had to let her know because he had never had a friend before, and he's like no like you're my best friend, and I was like oh my god I love you, and then in the third book is this a spoiler? Okay. Spoiler alert. I'm just gonna throw it out. So in the third book, where she, because look, we darn near 6 books, 5 books into this. So in the third book, where when she it clicked to her that she figured out how to like not hurt anyone by touching them, like she figured out her powers. And Kenji was there, and she ran to him and put her hands on his face, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like,
Oh
"You're not dead." And he's like, "I'm not dead." And she's like, "You're not dead." And he's like, "I'm not dead." Like he was happy, and she was happy, and I just like but his reaction to it was just as like exciting as her reaction, which was just as exciting as my reaction. I was like, yeah, all three of us are happy. Like I just like I don't know. Because she was like, what? And she just like put her hands on his face. And she was like, you're okay. And he's like, I am okay. That's good. That's good. I don't know. He was
oh
very
my
happy for
goodness.
the little things. It doesn't take a
Oh
lot.
my
Bring me
god.
joy.
Maybe I'm gonna read it. Maybe my feelings will change for Kenji, but it's
I
not like
think they will. I think they will. Your feelings will change.
I need to know his inner. That's why I like different POVs because I be wondering what the other characters are thinking a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get it. But
Fair.
so
This is an emotional moment.
yeah, I'm still thinking about the other books. I'm still
I'm
thinking, and
sorry.
it's so much that
You know
I
what?
like. I only downloaded on my Kindle the third book because I went
Is it
back and
called
reread it.
It's Everneath?
Yeah, the
I
first was
gotta read it
Everneath,
now.
the second one
I
is
think
Everbound, and
I
then
know
the
what they
third
are.
is Evertrue.
We have them, unless I just deleted a bunch of stuff. So like, I don't remember if that was something, but
It's good.
we had them, and I feel like now I have to read it. Like I feel like I just have to like,
Yeah, but keep in mind, I read them when they first came out, which
yeah,
was years ago.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if I read them now, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I know I would like them, but I wouldn't give them all the 5-star ratings as I did
Probably, yeah, yeah. No,
before.
probably not. Like I give a lot of like I give a lot of 5-star ratings, but that's just because like a lot of the times in the moment I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling everything and And I don't know. And I just like react to that. And typically it's like, of course not.
Yeah.
This book, I'm gonna find it.
It's
Oh, there it is. I just want to see if she wrote anything else or if after that she realized she could never write again.
she hasn't.
Uh, something diplomatic immunity? I don't know what that is, but that's a book by her. Mm. And then here are the novellas. Shut up. She was involved in this? Oh Lord. Okay. My Plain Jane.
Yeah. 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 She was in that. I haven't read
Lady
it yet, but yeah, she was in that.
Uh, you go on ahead and read Lady Jane and then you talk to me. Please.
Okay.
Do I have something to say about that book?
I will. That is on my TBR to read.
All right, move it on up because that could be something to talk about too.
Yep.
Okay, I think my feelings have settled.
Okay. So I think that is all. We did a lot of rambling. Ain't going again. So I hope you guys like the bills. If you ready to, I hope you did because we said a lot of spoilers. And let us know if you're going to be reading the second one as well and your predictions of it too. And we will see you all in our next. Oh, wait. Next month, we'll talk about. Are we still going to do library programming?
Yeah,
Okay. So next month, we're going to talk about library programming since it's almost time for summer reading.
I can't.
And yeah, yeah, that's like
I
the dreadful thing.
can't.
So we're going to talk about that. And I guess we can go as of right now to the last weekend
Mhm.
next
The
month,
last
and we
Fridays
do
are
Fridays.
working for
Yeah,
me.
that's Friday.
Mhm.
I still haven't got my schedule yet, so I don't know. I don't know. Yo, yes, I did. I got a tentative schedule, and I work till 6 on a Friday. So
Okay,
yeah, them
Friday or
Fridays.
Saturday. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
So yeah, but yeah, you guys stay tuned for all of that, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.